So you might have seen the video that we made yesterday on this YouTube channel, which talked about the Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers. This was built off of what was talked about during the Jacob Trouba trade talks. Jacob Trouba was traded from New York to Anaheim, but before that trade was made a few days ago, there were reports from some insiders linking the Ottawa Senators in these talks. Shortly after, it was spoken about by Larry Brooks of the New York Post that the Rangers were targeting Brady Tkachuk, and after some other insiders went out there like Darren Dreger, who said that the Ottawa Senators were not involved in the Jacob Trouba trade conversation, everybody kind of went home and they were like, okay, that's great. No Brady Tkachuk trade, no Brady to New York, whatever, it's over. But then yesterday, we had spoken about how Sens owner Michael Andlauer was pissed off with everything that went down, and how the Rangers responded as well. It was a really big, confusing situation where people were throwing around terms. Michael Andlauer said that it was soft tampering, almost, the way that the New York Rangers were reported to targeting Brady Tkachuk. And, of course, I think for most fans of sports, you could go out there and say that's not really tampering. I mean, that's a member in the New York media saying, oh yeah, the Rangers are reportedly interested in this guy. And if that's the case, then everybody in the gosh darn league is tampering, right? Because we always hear rumors and we always hear ideas, we always hear what teams want, and we always get involved in those conversations. I have made a living the past few years of my adult life here, talking about trade rumors and reported interest on the internet. So if anybody's going to talk about tampering in the Brady Tkachuk situation, oh yeah, it's a reported thing that a New York media member talked about, therefore it's soft tampering. Well, okay. Tampering has been in the league for years then, if that's the case. You let me know the last time the Ottawa Senators were reportedly interested in somebody, and I'll call you out for tampering as well. The Rangers also responded in a statement via Frank Saravelli. They disagreed with the assessment, they thought it was inaccurate, and ultimately it was kind of a difficult situation. Now, the reason we are making this video, one more drop in the bucket for the Brady Tkachuk to New York news, is because of Larry Brooks himself, who went out there on the Spit and Chicklets podcast and spoke even further about this situation. New York Brooks is on the latest episode of the Spit and Chicklets podcast, and here's what he had to say about the Brady Tkachuk and soft tampering situation, as tweeted out by TSN 1200. Now, I do find it interesting, why in the hell is TSN 1200 tweeting out a YouTube link to a Spit and Chicklets episode? But, alas, they did do it, and it was posted about by John Rodenberg, saying this: Brooks claims that 3 sources told him the Rangers are targeting Brady Tkachuk. Andlauer's very public response is entirely appropriate, backing his players and his fans. But it would be naive to think this also wasn't a subtle message to Gary Bettman to eventually get his first-round pick back. Now, first-round pick, what are they talking about? Well, that's the Evgeny Dadonov pick, the one that they ended up losing out on, the Ottawa Senators did, because of that trade fiasco with Dadonov. Michael Andlauer has spoken out about how he would like to get the pick back, but ultimately, I do think that the pick and that situation is far gone. I don't really know if a Brady Tkachuk soft tampering situation and this commentary by media members and Andlauer himself is going to result in Gary Bettman giving that pick back. I don't think that's utterly related at all. But either way, I wanted to go over to some comments that talk about the Brady situation and how we can perceive everything that went down based off of Larry Brooks' comments and how Michael Andlauer responded to it too. Let's go out there and read this. It's the Our Hockey comment thread of the same post. Top comment by Z Blanco says, regardless of if it's true or not, the Brady Tkachuk being targeted by New York news, regardless if that's true or not, or if Ottawa deserved to get punished or not, it makes no sense to give them back their first-round pick for an offense that New York committed. Yeah, okay, I agree with that there. I believe, though, that the implication is the Rangers are using their beat writer to stir up Brady Tkachuk trade rumors in the hopes that it would lead somewhere. Ottawa probably just declines any calls interested in talking trades, and Michael Andlauer thinks that the Rangers took it to this level. Regardless, I feel like there was nothing inherently wrong with reporting that the Rangers are interested in Tkachuk, because who wouldn't be? And the owner is just frustrated because he has to address it publicly because so many Brady trade rumors have been going around. And then there's a little timeline written out at the bottom by Dog Naughty. I imagine it's something along the lines of this. 1. New York identified Brady as a trade target. 2. Drury checked with Staios, who gave the no way in hell rejection. 3. The New York Rangers tell Brooks that they've checked in on it and give the impression that they are working on trades to publicly show they are not happy with the team as it is. 4. Brooks tell the public. Number 5. Weeks checks with others who says there have been no discussions, etc. And here we are. Remember, the reporters are also mouthpieces for the teams. And whether or not this is true or not, it does seem like there had been, at the very least, some sort of an impact made by this entire conversation. Larry Brooks, of course, is one of the most, let's just say he's got a reputation in hockey reporting, but it is very true that he does have himself a role in the New York beat, and there are people that he talks to that definitely do have their connections with the team and have associations with it, etc., etc. Brooks is a Rangers guy, Rangers insider, we can say. So to have any sort of an idea like this leaked out into the media, I doubt personally that it's like, oh, Larry Brooks made all this up. Like, he probably did have enough people going out there and telling him about it, especially since he talked about it on the podcast saying, yeah, I had 3 sources telling me that the Rangers were interested in Brady Tkachuk. And if it's true that that source was coming at it from a place of duplicity in a way, not necessarily because there was any Brady Tkachuk to New York trade coming, but because they just wanted to shake things up. Hey, I understand it. Look, it has 2 effects here. 1, it messes up the Ottawa Senators' mojo because everybody's been talking about a Brady Tkachuk trade for weeks now. And 2, it sends the message to Ranger fans that says, hey, we're kind of disappointed with how we're playing. Jacob Trouba's getting traded. Zibanejad, Kreider, these guys are not scoring, and we need to get a shakeup in the media. We need to get something going our way. So let's toss this Brady Tkachuk rumor out there so everybody starts thinking about us needing to be better, and it gives us a little bit of breathing room because the fans are able to know that we are not satisfied with how we're playing so far. That's kind of a stretch, but it's still something that I think in some twisted way makes sense. There is some logic behind it, although I'd argue it's not very good. Like, why would you need to go out there and do some hanky-panky twisting the knife around to make it seem like another team is going through some bad times when you yourself are going through rough times too? Like, imagine trading your captain away. Would Ottawa do that? I don't know, but New York certainly did. Another comment goes out there and says, who's lying? Kevin Weeks said yesterday his sources internally and externally had 0 talks about Brady Tkachuk. Now Brooks says he has 3 sources? Brooks' 3 sources are his dog, his own ass, and Reddit. Okay, who knows if that's really true? At the center of this question are teams responsible for their media. If a journalist, some of these rumor guys aren't exactly journalists, but regardless, if a journalist spreads a false rumor with the intention of helping out his team, is the team and ownership now responsible to set the record straight? If the ownership specifically told the media members to spread a known false rumor to help themselves out, then that's obviously wrong, but then it also means we have to draw the line somewhere, right? I think that some are saying that New York told their beat writers to write this. Every beat writer makes up something or incorrectly reports something once in a while, but the claim here is that New York planted that seed, or influenced rumors going around about it somehow so as to maybe trade for Brady Tkachuk. And so at the end of the day, maybe it boils down to semantics, maybe it boils down to the way it was talked about. Was Larry Brooks saying that with the new cap out of the Jacob Trouba trade, they could go out there and get a guy like Brady? Or is it specifically, yeah, no, I was told by people in the Rangers organization they're targeting this guy, and now we have to debate whether or not the foundation of those conversations was coming from a good, honest place or not. So, yeah, this situation's getting a lot more messy. I did think it was a good time to talk about this, though, because both of these teams, the Rangers and the Sens, they don't have games today. They're some of the only NHL teams, actually, that don't have games on Tuesday, December 10th. There are 11 games after all, so 10 teams are not playing tonight. So, yeah, if you're a fan of either the Sens or the Rangers, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these situations? How do you feel about the extended comments by Larry Brooks about this entire situation and the trade itself? Do you think there's actually an idea worth thinking about here? Or are you more on Michael Andlauer's side, saying that this Brady Tkachuk thing has to stop and it's tampering? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.